Good morning, afternoon and evening all, this is Yorkie, I hope you're doing well. This week has been a fantastic week, as on Monday they did the F1 2013 reveal. Basically they released a teaser trailer, also some gameplay footage of some hot laps around Silverstone and Nürburgring, and also the YouTubers like Alex Gillian and Into the Barrier, those who are at the reveal event last Thursday, also put up some of their own videos and some gameplay footage that they got from that event. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the event, I wasn't invited, but then again, I am, of course, only a relatively new channel and I'm relatively small, but we're hoping to grow. So what I've basically been doing is just sifting through all the information that has been released, all the trailers, and basically just going to give you guys a very nice in-depth detailed breakdown, as you know I like to do, and basically pickpocket all those little bits of information that other people may have missed out on. So just to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to go through basically the game features in this video, and also have a look at the Classic Edition that they announced, and also how basically the content for the Standard Edition and the Classic Edition line up against each other. And I have also done quite a bit of digging, looking at the potential cars that are lined up, or well, the cars that have been announced, and also the drivers that have been announced are going to be in the game, but also then basically pairing those off and seeing what cars they haven't announced that could be in the game, and also some potential cars. There's a couple of questionable cars here and there, but definitely make sure to hang around for the end of the video, whereas I'll go into quite a lot of detail with that. So let's jump straight in, and we'll have a look at some of the new features that are in the game, and also some of the improvements that they have made, mainly to the game modes. Not really going to show any sort of gameplay footage for this video. I'll probably do that for a separate one. It's basically just talking about the refinements that they've made, and also some of the new game modes and game modes that they've actually brought back. So first things first, the Young Drivers test is back. It has been confirmed that it is going to be in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be across 2 days with increasingly demanding challenges as you go across the couple of days. So the first one is basic tutorials, basically getting the car starting, stopping, turning, that sort of thing, with video introductions, very similar to what they did in F1 2012. And then the second day is going to be a lot more challenging, so you probably do some flying hot laps, also with some setup work, probably something along those lines to try and get you more in depth with the game, and basically help those out who do struggle with racing or also are very new to the F1 series. So a couple of things that I noticed from the blog post that they put up, which is where I got this information from. It says you can improve your score, driving techniques, and unlock race seats for career. So I'm guessing we'll go back to the first one, improving score. This could be similar and working with the online component, where in F1 2012, depending on how well you did in your races and what the position that you finished on, and also whether you set the fastest lap of the race or not, you got basically you got XP, which then gave you an online ranking, which went up to rank 50. But basically, this could be linked to this. So depending on how well you do in the Young Drivers test, and if every individual aspect of it, it could give you a score, which could then potentially link in with your online XP and ranking. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just a thought that's currently just going through my head with that. Driving techniques. So hopefully they'll probably show you guys some more in-depth and advanced driving techniques. So probably things like trail braking, basically using oversteer to get yourself into corners quicker, possibly some advanced overtaking techniques if you're going to be doing some like team collaboration sort of stuff. I'm not entirely sure. and then unlock race seats for career. So basically the same as they did in F1 2012. If you did really, really well, you could potentially unlock a contract for Williams. So I imagine it's going to work in the same way as that. The next mode that they have announced is Grand Prix mode. They've brought it back. It's going to be exactly the same as F1 2011 apparently. I'm not too bothered about it. I don't really do much single player, but I know a lot of the people on the forums were screaming and hollering, wanting this game mode back. So this is fantastic news for you guys. You basically get to obviously pick official drivers and their teams. So you can play as Lewis Hamilton for Mercedes, and then you can do a single race, a whole season, or you can do a custom season where you pick your own tracks that you basically want to do. So if you hate a couple of tracks, say you hate Singapore and I don't know, some maybe like India or Korea, like I do, some tracks that I don't really like driving that much, you can just skip those out and make your own season, which is extremely cool. I'm pretty sure that was what they did back in 2011 as well, if I remember rightly. The next thing that they've said is RaceNet. Apparently RaceNet was back in beta for F1 2012. It did seem a little bit pointless. I mean, there was a little bit too much hype around it at the start. I did dabble in it a fair bit during the RaceNet events, but very quickly after a couple of months I just kind of lost interest. So hopefully they've filled it out a hell of a lot more. They've got some more interesting stuff. They've got apparently some in-game challenges, scenarios, which is I'm guessing linking to the new scenario mode, which I'll get to in a minute. There's community challenges, obviously visual stats, so you can see how you're racking up in lap times and time trial against well, basically the rest of the platform that you're on, and also your friends. And then you can also see the game progress. So I'm guessing this means basically how far through the game you are, how much you completed, not really how much more of the game has got to come out. Although that would be quite cool if they are announcing other DLC down the line, that they have that linked in with RaceNet. So you can access RaceNet through your PC laptop, which is probably the main way that everyone's doing it. You can do it through mobile, and also some dedicated apps, which would be rather cool for those. So you can probably basically access RaceNet, see how your friends are doing whilst you're on the move. And of course, you can also access the stuff in game. So going into a little bit more detail on that, or some thoughts that I'm having about this RaceNet stuff. In-game challenges, I'm guessing it'll probably be stuff like starting from the back of the grid, try and get such and such a position for your finish. There could be something like overtake so many cars in one sector in Spa, or something like that. Scenarios, like I said, I'll get to that in a minute. Community challenges, this could be something potentially quite cool. They kind of an idea that I'm having with this is people basically post up challenges up on the forums. The devs then basically sift through those, pick out their favourite challenges, and then somehow or other implement that into the next RaceNet event. So basically someone could say, I've done such and such time around Silverstone, your challenge is to try and beat that time, something similar to those sort of lines. Visual stats, I'm guessing those could be something like trophies and achievements. I'm guessing there'll be, with the game progress, there could be some small like achievements that you usually tend to have on Xbox, and also PS3 were basically just by playing the game, setting certain lap times, finishing in certain positions in races. I'm guessing this sort of stuff could show up on your RaceNet profile for other people to see as kind of like badges. But yeah, I think that's everything to do with RaceNet that I have going through my mind at the moment. So let's move on to the main section of this video. So this is all about the basically the Classic Edition and also the Standard Edition, and how they stack and compare against each other. Because obviously, with the Standard Edition, you're not getting everything that you can get in the Classic Edition. It's basically like a, a limited edition, but also the DLC or everything that is in the Classic Edition will be as DLC for the Standard Edition. Probably later down the line, you'll probably end up paying slightly more over the actual price of the Classic Edition if you were to pay for the two separately. So basically, yeah, the Classic Edition will give you a slight discount on the content that you're actually paying for. So what's actually in the Standard Edition? It is obviously the full F1 2013 game. So you get F1 2013 with the new the new drivers, new cars, and obviously all the circuits from the F1 calendar. You obviously get all the new game modes and also the updates that they've made to the game between 2012 and 2013. So the new handling, new improved AI, any other new features that they plan on having, and you also get the classic 1980s content, which is 10 iconic drivers, 5 legendary cars, and 2 circuits, which is Brands Hatch, which is in Great Britain. It's quite an interesting circuit. It's very, very hilly, especially like the first couple of corners. They're on massive, great big hills, and I'm guessing it's going to be the longer version of the track where it extends off into the woods rather than just the short kind of stadium oval sort of style track that they have. It's not really an oval, but you know what I mean. It's in a very, very small confined area, so I'm guessing it's going to be the longer Grand Prix version of the track. I think that's what it's called. And then you also have Jerez, which is obviously where they do the F1 2012 and F1 2013 testing. It's where they do their pre-season testing that they've done in the last couple of years. It used to be a circuit that was used quite regularly throughout the F1 calendars, basically, and they used to race on those tracks back in the old days. So that is what you get with the Standard Edition. Now, with the Classic Edition, you get the 1990s content, which is 7 iconic drivers and 5 legendary cars, along with 2 classic circuits, which are Imola and Estoril. Obviously, Imola is where Ayrton Senna died. It's where he had his unfortunate crash back in 1994. And it was quite a dangerous circuit. They made multiple changes to it throughout the years to try and improve the safety there, but it's still deemed as quite a dangerous and a very, very, very tough circuit. But it'll be great to see that back, as it's a circuit that I did enjoy driving back in the older F1 games. And then you get Estoril, which is a track over in Portugal, and it looks very, very similar to Barcelona. In fact, the circuit of Catalonia. They look very, very similar to that, but it's what they used to race on back in the old days, back when I was a wee little kid. So yeah, that's those are the 2 editions. You get them for obviously Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and also PC. As far as I know, it's just those 2 editions that they have. There could possibly be some more downloadable content down in the future. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen anywhere where they said that they haven't done it, but also at the same time they haven't said that they will do it. So this is just speculation from me, just trying to throw a couple of rumours out there, get everyone talking sort of thing. But it'll be nice to see if they do go with that route. It'll be good, basically just to see what they plan on bringing out. So to go with this, they brought out a F1 2013 announcement teaser trailer, which I will play for you in a second. Basically, once this is done, is actually talk about the cars that they have confirmed are in the lineup for the Classic and also the Standard editions for the 1980s and 1990s cars, and also some cars and drivers, because obviously you get to drive for drivers, and also a new game mode. Basically some speculation of what I think could be in the game after I've done a little bit of digging. So without further ado, let's show you guys the trailer now. So that was a trailer, and to go alongside this is basically the classic content trailer. To go alongside this, they've also announced a brand new game mode called Scenario Mode, which I think is basically the same as the Legends or Champions mode that they had in F1 2012, but kind of expanded a little bit more. But to use as an introduction for this mode, they have Murray Walker. You heard him in that trailer there, with a snippet of his commentary of two drivers going side by side. And basically I think they're planning on using him in the game as basically an introduction to the scenario mode, which supposedly has authentic racing challenges. So I'm guessing from this, you basically recreate real actual F1 legendary moments. So it could be things like Senna and Prost in Suzuka when they went down to the World Championship. Prost had to finish above a certain position, I think it was 8th, and basically to prevent him from doing that, Senna and Prost famously collided on the first turn of Suzuka on the very first lap, meaning that Senna won the championship. So you could recreate that race. Also, obviously, something like Nigel Mansell at the British Grand Prix, or Damon Hill winning the World Drivers' Championship at Suzuka, and basically other famous legendary moments and scenarios. You could even do something like Senna in Brazil when he only had 6th gear. Basically just drive around the track in 6th gear and see if you can last those last couple of laps and actually win the race. So something like that would be extremely cool if that's what they're planning on bringing in. But with this, you can play it in basically single player. You can do it on co-op with split screen or online. So that could create some rather interesting moments where you and a buddy could be playing it split screen on your Xbox. One of you could be, say, Damon Hill, about to win the World Drivers' Championship at Suzuka. It's the last couple of laps, and the other guy is the person in second place, and you've got to try and catch him and stop him from doing that. Something like that would be extremely cool. Obviously, they've said that all the classic cars and everything can be used in all game modes, so things like quick race, time trial, they could use across all the different tracks. So you could do like 1980s cars in Abu Dhabi, the new Silverstone, numerous other tracks on the F1 2013 calendar. Obviously you can do the new F1 2013 cars on the old tracks as well, so you could drive Brands Hatch, Imola, and also of course do some testing of your own at Jerez, which would be extremely cool. And obviously I know they've said that you can do the classic cars on multiplayer. Now, initially I did think that you could mix and match the cars from different eras, so you can race cars from the 1980s with the 1990s cars and either 2013s. Basically, you just throw them all into one race, and people get to choose openly as to what car they wanted. That was mainly due to how they worded it on the blog post. However, it has been confirmed on Twitter that multiplayer races will only be, well, I'm guessing actually this is probably for all the races across both single player and multiplayer, that the cars will be error locked, so you can only race cars from the 1980s, you can only race cars from the 1990s, and then you can only have 2013 cars, not all of them mixed and thrown into a big open race together. Although that would be rather interesting. I would have quite liked to have seen that. However, there would probably be some issues with balance if there was, say, the turbo cars are a lot quicker than the current 2013 cars. It'll be a lot more difficult for the 2013 cars to actually keep up. And obviously, over time, as people learn which cars are the fastest, people will basically just pick those era cars, and basically are just, yeah, there wouldn't be any balance to the online multiplayer component, which is fair enough. I'm kind of glad that they are trying to keep it balanced and, you know, trying to keep the racing fair across all the drivers, all the players, both online and offline. So that is the main scenario mode and classic content. Now, like I said at the start of the video, they've announced some actual drivers and also a couple of the cars from every single, well, of the 90s era and also the 1990s era. Basically, I watched Alex Gideon's video, and he listed off a number of drivers, and I've basically sifted through those drivers and also those cars to see what there could potentially be in the game. Now, it says on the F1 2013 announcement blog that there's 5 iconic cars from Ferrari, Williams, and Lotus, and 10 legendary drivers, including Nigel Mansell, Mario Andretti, Emerson Fittipaldi, and Gerhard Berger, and others. So, basically combining this, and also having watched Alex Gideon's announcement video where he's listed off a couple of cars and also a couple of drivers, I've done a little bit of digging and basically matched up potential cars and that sort of thing. So, the cars that we believe to be in the game, based on this, is the 1988 Williams FW12, which was driven by Nigel Mansell and Riccardo Patrese. The 1988 Lotus 100T, which was driven by Nelson Piquet and Satoru Nakajima. And then the 1980s Williams FW07B, which was driven by Alan Jones and Carlos Reutemann. Those 3 cars were mentioned in Alex Gideon's videos, who I'm pretty sure would have double checked with the actual developers at the reveal event. I'm pretty sure he said that he confirmed that in his video that those cars will be in the game. And obviously on the blog it says there's a Ferrari, and the Ferrari in the trailer, I believe, is to be either a 1987 Ferrari F1/87 or a Ferrari /87/88C, which are the 2 Ferraris from the 1987 season and the 1988 season. It could be either one of those 2. And I'm thinking more the 1988, the 88C, because Gerhard Berger is mentioned in the list of drivers, and he drove the F1 87/88C car in 1988, and his teammate was Michael Alboreto. So I believe that's to be our 4th car, and then a potential 5th has come from Mario Andretti, who is listed both in the blog and also Alex Gideon's video. And he drove a Williams and also for Ferrari in 1982, I believe. And then before that, in 1980 and 81, because obviously it's the 80s era that we're looking at here, is an Alfa Romeo 179 and 179C. The 179C being the 1981 car, which I think is probably a potential car to be in the game, because Mario Andretti drove that alongside his teammate Bruno Giacomelli, or somehow you spell it. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that. But that's 5 cars there. The top 4 are pretty much confirmed, and that last one, the Alfa Romeo, isn't 100% confirmed. However, we do have quite a few other drivers who are missing, so it could be any one of their cars that I haven't actually linked up yet. So that's the link of cars and also the drivers for the 88 or the 1980s era. For the 1990s, it has been said in their blog that there's 6 iconic cars from Ferrari and Williams, a host of famous drivers including David Coulthard, Eddie Irvine, Alain Prost, Jacques Villeneuve, and others. Now, in Alex Gideon's video, he said 6 1990s cars, including it was a 1992 Williams FW14B, which was driven by Mansell or Nigel Mansell, and also Riccardo Patrese. A 1996 Williams FW18, which was driven by Damon Hill and Jacques Villeneuve. And then, obviously, you've got a list of drivers: David Coulthard, Jacques Villeneuve, Eddie Irvine, and Alain Prost. We've already got Jacques Villeneuve in there, which means there's 3 other drivers with cars that we need to link up. Now, towards the end of the trailer, it showed the 1980s Ferrari, then there was a Ferrari from the 1990s, and then the last one was the new Ferrari, the 2013 Ferrari that Fernando Alonso and Felipe Massa are driving at the moment. So I did a little bit of digging, and Eddie Irvine is obviously one of the mentioned drivers. He was driving for Ferrari towards the end of the 1990s season, and judging by the sponsors and the shape of the front of that Ferrari, the second one that we saw in the trailer, this one shown here, I'm pretty sure that is the 1999 Ferrari F399, driven by Michael Schumacher, Eddie Irvine, and Mika Salo. And now there's 3 drivers there because Schumacher had his crash back in Silverstone, down at I think it was pretty sure it was Stowe, where basically he went straight into the barrier and broke his leg. So Mika Salo took over from Schumacher when Schumacher was obviously recovering, and then he came back for the last couple of races. So I'm pretty sure that is our 3rd car. That's 3 cars from the 1990s, and we've got 3 more to go. Now, Alain Prost is one of the drivers mentioned. He drove for Ferrari in both the 1990 and also the 1991 season. He had a break in 1992, and then he came back in 1993 and drove for Williams. So I'm guessing we're going to have a second Ferrari here, because we really got 2 Williams. A third Williams would probably be a little bit excessive. So it could either be the 1990 Ferrari 641 or the 1991 Ferrari 642 or 643, as they used 2 different chassis throughout the season. The 643 was an improvement, I believe, to the 642, and they used that in the second part. So those are the cars that Alain Prost drove. So it could be one of those 2 Ferraris from either 1990 or 1991. David Coulthard is also mentioned. Now, him and also his teammate Mika Hakkinen had a pretty good streak with McLaren back in the late 1990s, and David Coulthard was driving for McLaren between 1996 and 2004. Obviously, our cut-off point is 2000, or the year before, 1999, because obviously this is a 90s era section of the game. So I'm pretty sure that there's going to be one of 4 McLarens in there. There could potentially be 2 as well, because obviously we've got 2 other cars to tick off, as we've got 2 Ferraris, 2 Williams, so there could be 2 McLarens in there. There could be like a 1996 McLaren and also a 1998, back when McLaren are actually really dominating over Ferrari with Mika Hakkinen and obviously David Coulthard as their number 2 driver. So that's what I'm guessing is probably our 5th car, and then a 6th, probably another McLaren. But that's basically what I've done pretty much this morning, is basically just looking around and digging up and trying to link those 2 and trying to find out what ones are potential cars they haven't announced. Hopefully this will be some good talking points for you guys to try and sift through this information and actually find out and help me confirm as to whether these cars are actually true. It'll be interesting to see what the devs actually say, whether they stay quiet about it, whether they deny that these cars are in the game, or whether they actually come out and actually confirm that they are in the game. It would be very cool to actually hear their thoughts and opinions on this as well. So that is a pretty good summary of basically the new game modes and also the 2 classic and standard editions of the game that is coming for 2013. So hopefully you guys found that interesting and actually managed to pick up a number of things from that other people haven't actually mentioned yet. I'm pretty sure I've probably gone and actually missed a couple of things myself, but hopefully that'll give you a bit more of an insight. I'm going to do another video which should go up in the next couple of days, talking and looking at the 2 hot laps that they did around Silverstone and Nürburgring with a little bit of gameplay, and basically talking about more actual in-game elements in those videos, and basically comparing them to F1 2013 and F1 2012. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a like, give it a rating. If you have any comments and questions, obviously feel free to leave them below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as obviously you don't want to miss the next video, which I'll be doing, which is on 2013 again. And also I want 2013 to be one of the main games that I'm featuring on my channel. So if you want to see more of this content in the future, please do give me a subscribe. And yeah, I'll try and bring more content to you guys in the future. But yeah, I hope to see you soon, guys. Take care.